What's up guys, in this video I'm going to share with you my experience and my own point of view on what is the best business model on Amazon for you as an Amazon FBA seller, the retail arbitrage comparing to the private label. I must say before the video starts that I'm a private label seller. I'm a seven-figure seller, I have two brands and I sell successfully on Amazon for the last 2 years. So make sure that you watch the entire video because I'm going to share the pros and cons for each model so you can set yourself up for success. Now before we're moving into the video, make sure that you subscribe to the channel and you also click the bell so you can get yourself notified for every new video that I upload related to Amazon FBA and e-commerce, making money online and creating this freedom that I was able to create for myself and hopefully for you, sharing and giving back to helping people. So make sure you watch the video and let's start with it. Okay, so the private label versus retail arbitrage by Sourcing Monster. So actually something I forgot to mention before, if you want to get yourself up to date with updates and news that I don't share here, go to sourcing-monster.com and subscribe to the newsletter because I share their tips and updates again that I don't share here. And let's start. So as far as what is private label? So private labeling is taking an existing product, something that really this is the basic of it, the basic explanation. You take existing product, you're putting your label and packaging and logo on it and selling it as a completely new product. Now obviously it's not just that, it's not that simple like I explained how the process works with Amazon. So you contact suppliers mainly in China because China really set up exactly to be experts in export and in manufacturing, and it's not something new. And then you make some modifications to the item. You don't want to just sell if it's a plastic cup, you don't just want to bring the same plastic cup, put your own logo and just compete on pricing with other people. That might work, but for the long term it's not something sustainable. So usually what we do is we bundle it with something else. So maybe I will put a 50 pack of those plastic cups and combine it, that are 12 ounce each, and then combine it with 8 ounces another 50 pack, so people get two different sizes. So that's just an idea. But you really want to come up with a USP and really unique USP. It's unique selling proposition and selling it as part of your brand on Amazon. And with the USP, with something that is unique for your product, after research and checking what the audience that buying your product really needs and interested in, you can really create a brand and something sustainable for the long term. So that's in a nutshell what is a private label. What are the pros and cons for private label? So the pros, you really have control. You have no stock limitations. And when I say control is that if your product have a lot of demand, you can talk with your supplier and order 10,000 units and fulfill this demand. At the other end, if you do retail arbitrage, for example, and you go to let's say Wal-Mart and you find a really great deal in the clearance section, they might have only 20 units or 20 or 30 or 40 items from that specific item. And if there is a demand for it on Amazon and you sell all these 30, you have nowhere else to get more of those items. Or even if you're lucky, you have connections and all of that, you can get more stock, but usually you're limited. You don't have control over the manufacturing process. It's not your item. One day it could be not sold anymore at Walmart or wherever you got it from, so you really have no control. And with the private label, you have control. You can talk with your supplier and produce as many items as you can. It might take time, but it is you have better control. Creating brand and assets. So when you do retail arbitrage, you buy random brand name items that are not yours. You're building their brand. You're creating sales for their brand. When you create your own private label brand and you actually start to get sales, you're creating this brand from scratch, and this is an asset. With retail arbitrage, you are not really creating any asset. And when I say asset, it's something that after I can say that a couple of weeks ago, I declined the 7 figures, more than $1 million to sell my business. And it was very hard, but I going to wait more because I know that I'm going to get much more for it. But you create an asset. I was able to do it because I created a brand with items that is recognizing and have sales, and this is something that is like something tangible to you that you can sell, comparing to retail arbitrage. You can do it from anywhere in the world. So with retail arbitrage, you need to be physically in the stores finding those deals, those clearance items. With private label, you have many sellers that sells in the US marketplace that do not live here or never been in the US, and that's really amazing in my opinion, that you can do it from anywhere in the world. You have high margins, so you set up the price. Let's say you buy, I don't know, like this LG phone, okay? There is a market price that is there, and you cannot really play with the prices and the margins, so you're stuck. So usually the private label have much higher margins than retail arbitrage. Point number 5, it's a sustainable way of making money. So this is something that you could kind of predict. With retail arbitrage, there's so many things that can go wrong. Like for example, you go to the store and like I explained, they sell these 30 units for you, and then you come the next day and they don't have that item anymore. There are so many factors and things that can go wrong that are out of your control comparing to private label, where if you really prepare and have a business plan and forecast your future, you can have something that is really sustainable. Okay, we'll jump now to the cons, because with private label you also have cons. So first of all, you need a large upfront cost. Maybe before it was the entry barrier as far as the investment that you need to put was lower, but these days you need at least like $6, $7, $8,000 to just start with a private label and be successful. You can start with lower amount, but you really need to be lucky and that things will work out in your favor to make it successful business. You have to manage and monitor your brand for reviews, feedbacks, etc. So with that, it's your own brand. Every bad review, every bad feedback will hurt you long term. And with retail arbitrage, for example, if you buy this LG phone and you list it and someone is posting a negative review, you don't really care. It's not your brand. It's not something that you created. It's another bad review for something that doesn't really relate it to you. But when it's your own brand, you really care and you have to monitor these things. You have to really be on top of this. You have a high failure rate. So with the private label, you have so many things that you have to really master, and because of that, the failure rate and the successful sellers that you see is very low. I don't know the exact number, but I heard somewhere or read it that it's about 5%. So 95% of the people that start their Amazon FBA business, they fail after a year. So this is something that you want to take to understand and take it in mind. It takes time. So with retail arbitrage, you literally can go now to a store, buy a few items, and start making money right away. With a private label model, it takes much more time since you start to when you actually start making your first sale. And that's because you have to develop product. You have to really create a brand, do trademark, create packaging, do everything from scratch. Yes, it takes only one time, but it just takes time and it's something to consider. You have many skills to master: product listing, sourcing, product development, etc. So all of these things you don't really have to master if you do retail arbitrage. The listing is already there, you're just going to sell. With private label, you have to create the listing, the images, the copywriting. You have to understand about product development, how to really source successfully from China, and there are many barriers to really proceed with. What is the retail arbitrage? So retail arbitrage means that you'll go to a store, buy the items at the discounted price that will allow you to make profits on Amazon. Very simple. What are the pros? No large upfront investments. So unlike private label model where you have to really invest 6, 7, 8,000 upfront, here you can go literally with $100 bill, buy 10 or 15 items and just make money just like that, and roll with it and kind of don't really need more than $100 to start, so it's for beginners, it's a really great option. It's easy to master. You don't really have to master many skills like product listing creation or some other skills. Just have an Amazon FBA account, list. You don't even need to create a listing, you just put it, sell your own offer under existing listing. And in general, it's much easier to really understand and really operate the business. You can make money right away, like I explained. There is no really like limitation as far like it doesn't really take long time. You just buy the products. You can literally set up 5 minutes after you bought them on Walmart an FBM offer, means that you will ship it, or you can just send it directly to Amazon, do FBA, which will take a couple of more days or even weeks, but you start the process right away. It consumes far less time and requires far less efforts than private label. So it's kind of related to the easy to master, but you don't really have to learn so many new skills. And it takes less time. You make money right away. So comparing to the private label master, it's really good at private label master. The private label model, then it's much easier. With millions of products already on Amazon, the options for retail arbitrage are limitless. So unlike private label, where it takes so much time to source and find a winning product, could take months, with retail arbitrage, you have so many successful items that are out there, and to find opportunities, it's kind of easy. What are the cons? You need to be in the US, you need to be here physically, go to the stores, require your time. You can't really do it from anywhere in the world. That's a big no-no for me. Brands can be restricted, so you can for example, for instance, you go to the store, you buy some great deal, you look at it, you buy a LG phone that sells for 400, and then you come and you buy it for 200, and you say, wow, that's amazing, I'm going to make, you bought 10 of them, you're going to make $2,000, and then you come to list the item up and you see it's restricted category. So it happened to me, it happened to many other people, and you really need to know what you're doing so you won't lose money. Yes, you can go and return the phones, but these are lessons that you will learn the hard way. So you're not building any asset. So unlike the private label, where you build a brand, you build something that's tangible that you can sell, with retail arbitrage, you're not inventing anything, you're not creating anything, you're just riding on listings that already make money, and it's a quick money thing. Long term, I think it's going to disappear. Many issues with Amazon and IP claims. So because you sell brands and items that are not yours, you will get a lot of IP, which is intellectual property claims from Amazon that could put your account in much higher risk than if you will sell your own items. It's very difficult to scale. Like I said earlier, when you have a winning product, let's say this LG phone, you bought a deal of 10 phones, 10 cell phones, and they sold like in a day. If it would be me, I would say, okay, let's order like 10,000 units from that item. It's like it's selling like hotcakes. And with the retail arbitrage, you just 99% of the time will have no more stock to order from, because you got it at a deal, you got it from somewhere. You go to the store, they have no more cell phones like that for that price. So it's very, very difficult to scale. So, conclusion, in my opinion, I started with retail arbitrage just to get the experience and see how it works for a couple of months while I was building my private label business. From me, scaling was, I'm sorry for the spelling. So scaling was the number one priority, and I saw that I saw that with retail arbitrage, it will be very hard for me to scale it to 7 figures or even 8 figures. So if you want to get started and learn about how to sell on Amazon, maybe the retail arbitrage is a good option for you, just for the beginning, just to understand how the system works, just to understand how to do inbound shipments, just to see how you create and sell an item on existing listing and get the hang of it. If you want to take it seriously and to the next level, in my opinion, private label is the right model for you and will be the option that take you to this next level. So I hope I made things a little more clear for you and organize the information in your head. Please like this video, it will help me reach more people. Subscribe to the channel if you didn't subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you very much for watching.